being told that you're wrong affects children, especially, not in the you were doing wrong or you were acting wrong, but that you are wrong. Something is wrong with you
Mhm.
fundamentally. And sensitive children, especially, take that on, in some cases, as an identity. Take that on as at a very, very deep level, that there's something fundamentally wrong with them. And saying this as a mom, I am going through and thinking of every single time I have told my children they're wrong as opposed to their behavior is wrong.
Doing things wrong or badly, or it's going to like affect your life,
Yeah.
and making mistakes basically. So that is interesting that you said that.
Well, I mean that also works on one of mine. So I had all of the German training, and my first college music piano teacher had been trained by Russians, and he threw things. He yelled. He was both contemptuous, which is what the Germans were when they were mad, but also could be violent. And I never knew what it was going to be. He wouldn't like physically hurt me, but a pen would be thrown or the piano would be closed, and you have to move your hands really fast to make sure that you're not going to be. Again, looking back at it as an adult, it's easy to see that it was abusive teaching. And I'd never experienced that before, and I didn't understand what was going on. And I was 17. It was really hard. So, I mean, when you train as an artist at that level, you experience these people who do things, you know, in the name of art that are, or can be at least, quite abusive. And because you want to be part of this world where you're doing things in the name of art, you take it for a while. And nearly everyone does. Nearly all of us who train seriously do for a while. What that resulted in me was getting sick.
Mhm.
I'm convinced that that's what made what should have been a, 3-day virus into the debacle of months and months and months, and led to the post-viral fibromyalgia and stuff like that. That my body said, we're getting you out of here.
Yeah.
You are not listening, so we're getting you out. Yeah. And of course, I got sick after I was out
Yeah.
because the body is a lagging indicator.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. So this was what was in my memory as I was saying those things. So I don't know anything about your Russian ballet experience, but my guess is that there were elements of it, even if it wasn't the whole thing, that there were elements of it that were uh, compounding, let's say, core wound issues.
Hmm. Yeah, when you were saying the heart meta, and I had the visual of my partnering teacher throwing his notebook and his pens because we were doing stuff for us. He would throw a
Yeah,
temper tantrum,
yeah,
and then he would leave the
yeah.
classroom and we'd have to
Storm out.
storm it out. And
And
he was
you
the
did
only,
that.
yep, he was the only one that was that way. Yeah, no, they weren't abusive. He would be contemptuous, and he would
Yeah.
be like, "You're not good enough." Like,
You are
just,
such a disappointment.
and I would be crying in class,
Yeah.
like all of us.